guys, welcome back to Resolution. Today it's going to be a bit of a different one. What I'm going to be basically doing is riding just over 200 miles down to Cornwall. It's not going to be an exciting ride. Well, I'm going to find it exciting, but it's not going to be a twisty, bendy, windy route that's going to be tomorrow. And if it sounds like I'm struggling to talk very well, it's because I am. Because I've got a nice snug DJI, sorry, I've got a nice snug helmet, the Shui Neotech 2 helmet, and it is keeping my head very, very snug indeed. So, 200 miles of tarmac. I've already travelled 100 miles, so today, well, the rest of the day is just going to be enjoying the ride. So it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. I'm just going to talk to you and tell you some bits that's been going on, tell you some things that's coming up on my way down to Cornwall. You're going to keep me from going insane, basically. So, the first thing I'm going to mention is the fact that I've got a new microphone. I haven't really been struggling with microphones and audio. Every now and again, you have a little blip where it's just and straight away, look at that, the GoPro has frozen a minute and 30 seconds into the footage, and the GoPro freezes. This is why I don't rate GoPro. I mean, what are they playing at? I just don't get why GoPro has so many issues. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the issue, and it's frozen again. What is going on? I'm going to have to try and find, oh look at that, a lay-by. Find a lay-by to go into and see what the hell is going on with this GoPro. Now, I also use, obviously, the DJI Osmo Action 4 camera, which is bloody phenomenal. I love this camera. It just works. You're going to have no issues. I'll say that as it's not working. Alright, I'm just going to fix this and then I'll be back with you guys. Well, you can see, look, it's sketching out. Like, what on earth, GoPro? Come on, sort it out. Look, it's literally going crazy. Right, I'll get back with you guys in a second. Right, guys, so let's see if this works now. I've replaced the battery because that battery had a slight bit of damage on it. I can't imagine it would actually have caused much of an issue. We'll find out in due course. So yeah, GoPro aside, because I'll talk about them. Actually, let's just crack on. So with GoPro, I have lost a lot of footage when we went across Europe. There was a lot of footage that was just constantly corrupting. A minute into this one, minute and a half into this one, it faulted again. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain. You've got to keep an eye on the GoPro, but the DJI Osmo Action doesn't ever seem to have a corrupt issues. The only issue I had with it, and I'll get back to what I was initially talking about, is the microphone. It wouldn't actually record audio. So I trawled through the internet, had a good look at loads of different audio options that people are relying upon, and I've kind of settled on, well, I have definitely settled on the Osmo, the DJI Mic 2. It's just literally in my helmet, just inside the jawbone area, and I think I can feel it. Hold on a bit. Yeah, I can feel it. And basically, it's magnetised on the back. So on the back, you can clip it onto your chest and everything, just so you've got some decent audio. But what I've done is I've actually stuck 2 magnetic strips just along here in my helmet, which is actually allowing me to... Oh, we're in A35. Why are you wanting me to go this way? I've never actually... Do you know what? I've never gone this way. Why is it taking me that way? Yeah, I'm not going to go that way. It'll probably become apparent in a minute why it wants me to go that way, probably to avoid a massive traffic queue, but that just seems bizarre to go that way. Anyway, Starbucks. I've always wanted to go to that Starbucks. I don't know why. Anyway, back to the microphone. I digress. So, yeah, it's now wireless, and when it connects to the camera, what I initially do is connect it to the camera and then turn the camera off, and then when I reconnect it, just by pressing the little power button to do like a fast capture, you feel like a little vibration come from the microphone, which just obviously lets you know it's connected and up and running. So I'm hoping over the next week I'm not going to have any audio issues. Obviously the big elephant in the room is it's wireless, so you're going to have to charge it. And yeah, it's like anything in this day and age, isn't it? My airbag vest, went around Europe with my airbag vest. You got to charge it, stayed in campsites. You end up getting the campsite power supply into your tent, because otherwise you just can't record everything. But GoPro, do not let me down. I'm giving you a second chance here. Personally, I'd go for the Osmo Action 4 if I was to ever buy a new GoPro again, or sorry, new action camera again. Look at that view, absolutely brilliant. Also with the microphone, I've had to turn the gain down. The gain is right down at -12. Obviously, if you're out and about, and this is where I messed up on my Germany trip to the Nürburgring, I didn't have the gain turned up enough. So when the microphone's on my chest or I was walking around with it, the gain just wasn't picking up enough audio. So when you're vlogging in a crash helmet, turn the gain down so you don't peak. And when you get out and you go back to normal, turn the gain back up again so people can actually hear you, because that is where I fell short. Some poor soul has lost his life there, Blake. Poor lad. Moving forward, what else have we got? So I'm going down to Cornwall for a couple of days. It's a Monday now, so I'm going to spend the whole day in Cornwall tomorrow, and then on Wednesday I'm going to be going up to Bristol, meeting up with my mate Rich, and then we're going to go ride around Derbyshire, territory of Richie Vida. So that is something I'm looking forward to. I've never ridden around Derbyshire, so yeah, that'll be absolutely fantastic. And hopefully this weather improves, because apparently it is summertime. It's not summertime, it's miserable, fresh. I mean, at one point on this ride I was thinking I may have to put my body warmer on just to keep myself ticking over, but it seems like it's actually just slightly improved the temperature ever so slightly. And on the report that Google Earth has given us, we've got a lot of traffic. Police nearby, 2 reports 8 minutes ago, and we've got traffic. So I'm guessing it's probably a crash. Well, it was just literally traffic work, so not to worry. Yeah, so I've not actually done a solo road trip in quite some time. Obviously, this time last year I was in France doing the Normandy. Where did we go? Normandy, Arromanches, and several other. Juno Beach, I think, went to, and also Omaha. So yeah, that was with a big group of us. And then a month later, me and Holly went down to Bosnia, which you're still hopefully enjoying thoroughly on YouTube at the moment. I've got so many more videos to edit. Honestly, it takes such a long time to get through it all, but needless to say, I'm getting there slowly but surely. But I'm also trying to pump out some new content on the way through as well, because it just keeps the channel ticking over nicely. Otherwise you're just going to get bored with my same content. Hopefully you don't, but you never know. It's nice to have a bit more of a variety. And then after that, came back and then went for a ride up to Wales with my friend Dave. The only problem with that is I had the microphone like roughly here, so whilst I was riding I was capturing his audio better than my audio, which made it really frustrating, because I'd be so muffled in all the talking you could barely hear me, and then you can hear Dave. So again, it's that one-way conversation almost. I need to get back on the editing for that and see if there's any way of salvaging it, because I use Power Director, and Power Director, the newer version, honestly, it updates every time I turn the computer on, which is like twice a week almost. And why are we doing 30 miles an hour in a national? Come on, guys. There's nothing in front of this. It's a Nissan Leaf, so it might be running out of electricity. Anyway, let's pop past. There we go. We're out. and we're back on 60 miles an hour. Yeah, so I'll have to try and figure out some way of saving that footage potentially, which would be good because it was a brilliant couple of days up in Wales. Do you know what? I can't remember how long we went for. I think it was a long weekend. But yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Really nice weather, sunshine. It was cracking. Honestly, if you've never been to Wales, get yourself down to Wales, have a look around. It's just a lovely place to visit. And then yeah, here I find myself. Oh man, I know you've got an HGV, I know you've got to pull out, but there's a motorcyclist. Yes, motorcyclists should be doing the speed limit, and I was doing the speed limit, but the majority, the minority don't. They go spanking it. And this is why you've got to be so careful when you're riding a motorcycle, because big vehicles pull out in front of you. I think that is the village of Honaton down there. Mate, I swear I've got some issues because my mind dances all over the show constantly. So yeah, this is my first solo motorcycle trip in a long time. Guys, do you do solo motorcycle trips or do you always ride in a group? Let me know in the comments what you prefer. Do you prefer riding solo, or do you prefer riding as part of a group, or even just one extra rider? This is the one thing that I do find very strange about vlogging. I'm on my own for the last 2 hours. I've been riding, and I've actually been listening to Ant Middleton's autobiography, Point Man, or First One Through the Door, something like that. And it's a really good book. I really like it. It shows you, well, basically goes through his life growing up, through his forces. I never knew when he left the army in the parachute regiment, he then went to join the police, got kicked out for drink driving, and then ended up joining, obviously, the SBS. But that aside, it's been quite enjoyable, just riding, just listening to an autobiography, and yeah, it's been great. But now I've decided to actually put the cameras on because the roads are a little bit nicer. Yes, this is the little village of Honaton. This will get me to go in the diversion route around Honington, but I'm actually going to go through Honington because I want to capture it on camera because it's such a lovely little village. And basically, it'll just take me through and out the other side onto the A34, which again is going to be a boring route, but it just gets me down to Cornwall. Like I said, this ride isn't for scenery. That will come later in my week. This is just to enjoy it. But now I've got the camera on, I actually feel like I've got someone to ride with. I'm talking, my brain's going, I'm engaging with myself, basically. Obviously, it's for YouTube, but I'm just engaging with what's going on, which is really nice. I wonder if they've painted this roundabout since I last... Yes, they have. So I last came this way last year, I think it was, go down to was it Exeter? Anyway, that roundabout basically never existed. It was just an odd shape in the road where people just fought for themselves to get through. Obviously it is a roundabout, it has been a roundabout, but in the UK we just need to start painting road layouts again. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Honaton. He's come through here all the time as a child, going down to Cornwall. The Yellow Deli, that looks quite nice, like Cotswold style stonage. It's lovely to see the Union Jack flying. When I was in France and Germany, do you know what? I'll take that back. When I was in Europe and going down to Bosnia, every country flew their national flag and they flew it with pride. The UK just doesn't do it. It's like we're too scared of our own shadow to be patriotic. You might be seen as racist, but this is lovely. Honington, flying the Union Jack with pride, like basically every country in Europe does, which is absolutely amazing. But I remember Honington when I was a lot younger being a lot bigger. Now you basically blink. I mean, look, we're basically going back onto the Honington bypass, the A35. I think it's A35 or the A30 into Cornwall. But yeah, lovely little quaint English village borderline town. I mean, Honington might be a town. Let me know if I've got that wrong is Honaton a town or is it a village? I want to call it a village, but I'm sure you guys will correct me, which I really appreciate because I read all the comments. I could just imagine, like, looking at this road, it looks like you could add this on an Isle of Man TT race. And could you imagine what those TT, I mean the TT is just finished, but could you imagine coming through here at like 150, 160 miles an hour, going right next to the railings, flying past them, coming back out, avoiding all this pothole and all this damaged road, over the bump, getting a bit of air, front wheel definitely would have come off the ground on that one. And then, yeah, those riders are absolutely crazy. I actually met James Hillier at the Sammy Miller Motorcycle Museum. I want to say it was 2 years ago, or maybe last year, start of last year. He was down there for a motorcycle charity ride where a couple of RAF veterans, air traffic controllers I think they were, basically went around the UK visiting as many air traffic control centres as possible for, I think it was prostate cancer. It was something like that. And yeah, James Hillier was there. I shook his hand and I said, "You have got the biggest balls in the world to do the TT." I think he kind of like laughed at that. And as I was chatting to him, then someone jumped in and went, "Can I get you some helmet?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm trying to have a chat with this absolute hero. Give me 5 seconds." And then that made me think, hold on a minute. I wish I'd bought my helmet, because I was in a car that day. I wish I'd bought my crash helmet and said, "Can you scriggle on my helmet, please?" And sprayed it with lacquer to seal it in. But never mind. Yeah, so I met James Hillier. Guy's an absolute legend of a rider, as are all the Isle of Man TT riders. They're all crazy. Yeovil, no, I'm going straight on. Yeah, the A30, I think that said. Alright, so we are just reaching the outskirts of Exeter. I'm going to be going south. Plymouth, Torquay, I think it was Oakenhampton something. I didn't glance it quick enough. So with this trip down to Cornwall, the sat-nav was trying to take me the A30, I think it was, which is quite a direct route straight down, and then to where I'm going, near Falmouth, literally straight down. I don't want to do that. I want to actually go via Saltash. Have any of you guys been to Cornwall? If you have, again, just leave a comment below. Let me know what your favourite part of Cornwall is, where you visited in Cornwall, if you want to visit some other areas in Cornwall. Bodmin Jail is absolutely amazing on the Bodmin Moors. The legends of the Bodmin Moors monster, and people that be consumed by the monster of Bodmin, the beast of Bodmin. It was a really interesting tour around there, really spooky. And the weird thing is, oh there you go, let's talk about Bodmin. 65 minutes to Bodmin. Alright, so my fuel light has just come on, so I better stop and get some go-go juice. And ironically, last time I came down here, this is the same place that I stopped. There's a Shell garage around here, but it was a Shell garage last time. There it is. And I'm back a few years later. I've gone past that one. I didn't want to go in that way, but sod it. Let's go to this one, get some fuel, because I am now running low. It feels so cold going into this tank. Literally, my legs are freezing. That GoPro battery's gone down quite quickly. Not much juice left in it. I'll go run the batteries right down though, because I don't want to end up running out of batteries whilst I'm still filming, because I've got 27 minutes to get to the Tamar Bridge. Highlight number 6, please. Brilliant, thank you. Alright, 27 minutes left to go.